Welcome to this video. Today we will discuss what would happen if we dumped all our waste in space. In this series, we will explore the potential consequences and benefits of launching our waste into space and discuss the challenges and technologies involved in doing so. As our planet's population continues to grow, the amount of waste we produce is also increasing. This waste poses a significant challenge to our environment and our health, and finding solutions for managing it is becoming increasingly urgent. One potential solution that has been proposed is to launch our waste into space. But what would happen if we actually did this? Would it solve our waste problem, or would it create new problems and dangers? In this series, we will explore these questions and more. The challenges of launching waste into space. Before we can explore the potential consequences of launching our waste into space, we need to understand the challenges and technologies involved in doing so. First and foremost, launching waste into space is an incredibly expensive and complex endeavor. It requires powerful rockets and specialized spacecraft capable of carrying large quantities of waste. It also requires sophisticated engineering to ensure that the waste is properly contained and does not pose a danger to the spacecraft or to other objects in space. Another major challenge of launching waste into space is the risk of collisions with other objects in orbit. Space is already cluttered with debris from previous missions, and launching more objects into space increases the risk of collisions. These collisions can cause significant damage to spacecraft and other objects in orbit, creating additional debris and increasing the risk of future collisions. Finally, launching waste into space raises ethical questions about the impact on future generations. The waste we launch into space will remain there for thousands of years, potentially posing a danger to future space exploration and colonization efforts. The benefits of launching waste into space. Despite the challenges of launching waste into space, there are also potential benefits to this approach. One of the primary benefits is that it could help to reduce the amount of waste on our planet, which could have significant environmental and health benefits. By removing waste from our planet, we could reduce the risk of pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and other environmental hazards. This could improve the health and well-being of people around the world and protect our planet's natural resources. Another potential benefit of launching waste into space is that it could provide a new source of raw materials for future space exploration and colonization efforts. Some types of waste, such as metals and minerals, could be extracted and used for construction and other purposes in space. The potential consequences of launching waste into space. While there are potential benefits to launching waste into space, there are also significant potential consequences and dangers. One of the primary concerns is the risk of collisions with other objects in orbit. As we mentioned earlier, space is already cluttered with debris from previous missions, and launching more objects into space increases the risk of collisions. These collisions can cause significant damage to spacecraft and other objects in orbit, creating additional debris and increasing the risk of future collisions. Another potential consequence of launching waste into space is the risk of contamination. If the waste contains biological or chemical hazards, it could pose a danger to other spacecraft, planets, and potentially even alien life. Launching waste into space could also have unintended consequences for our planet's climate. If large quantities of greenhouse gases were released into space, it could have a significant impact on our planet's climate and weather patterns. Finally, launching waste into space raises ethical questions about the impact on future generations. As we mentioned earlier, the waste we launch into space will remain there for thousands of years, potentially posing a danger to future space exploration and colonization efforts. It is important to consider the long-term consequences of our actions and ensure that we are not creating new problems for future generations to solve. How we can launch waste into space. If we were to launch waste into space, how would we do it? There are several potential approaches that have been proposed. One approach is to use existing rockets and spacecraft to launch waste into orbit around the Earth. This would require modifying the spacecraft to carry and contain the waste and launching them into a safe orbit where they would not pose a danger to other objects. Another approach is to launch waste directly into the sun. This would require even more powerful rockets and specialized spacecraft, capable of withstanding the intense heat and radiation near the sun. A third approach is to launch waste into deep space, where it would travel away from our solar system and eventually disintegrate or be absorbed by other objects. This would require even more powerful rockets and spacecraft capable of traveling long distances and navigating through the hazards of deep space. Alternatives to launching waste into space. While launching waste into space is one potential solution for managing our waste, there are also alternative approaches that may be more practical and sustainable. One approach is to reduce the amount of waste we produce in the first place. This could involve adopting more sustainable practices, such as recycling, composting, and using renewable energy sources. By reducing the amount of waste we produce, we can also reduce the need to launch it into space. Another approach is to find new uses for our waste. Some types of waste, such as plastics, can be recycled into new products. Others can be used for energy generation, such as through waste-to-energy facilities that convert waste into electricity. Finally, we can also explore new technologies for managing and disposing of our waste, such as advanced landfill technologies, waste reduction techniques, and carbon capture and storage. Conclusion. In conclusion, launching our waste into space is a complex and expensive solution that poses significant risks and challenges. While it could help to reduce the amount of waste on our planet and provide new resources for space exploration, it could also create new hazards and ethical concerns. As we explore potential solutions for managing our waste, we must consider the long-term consequences of our actions and work towards sustainable and practical solutions that protect both our planet and future generations. Thank you for watching this video series, and we encourage you to stay informed and engaged on this important topic. Together, we can work towards a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable future.